What's up, guys? Dialing in a little bit back today. We're doing a little bit different video. We're going to be in the garage kind of touching up on some things that this Corvette needs. So we took it out to Leadfoot and we took it out to the OSW private day. Both were great events. Like we mentioned in that video, the car was giving us a O2 sensor code. Upon analyzing it, we went under the car and we found that the connectors actually were melted off and they were touching the exhaust. So they just completely melted. Talking to Tyler, it's happened to him before, and we think that that's going to be the issue. Honestly, makes sense because the wires are exposed and all that stuff. We tried to tape it back up and put it up high, but that wasn't enough. So we have two new O2 sensors coming in and the connectors that go from the engine bay down to the actual O2 sensor, because that plug right there that connects the two got melted, so we can't reuse either side. So we're going to get that installed. We also got a couple OMP seats. These are the same seats that I actually got for the West Coast Corvette that we're going to be putting in. We have to give Andrew back his seat because it's obviously a Grindle garage seat, and I don't want to have an OMP seat with a Momo seat. So we're going to swap it out, sell that left one, give Andrew his back. We're going to nut and bolt check the car. We bought it from Andrew. We never even nut and bolt checked it. We found a couple things that were loose, a couple things we didn't like. So we're going to check over kind of what the settings are in the front for the Ackerman. We're going to check kind of where everything is set up. The alignment appears to be good, so we don't need to mess with that at all. Check the shock spring rate, make sure that they're good on all four corners and kind of little things like that. This car has been phenomenal to drive the last two events that we drove it. Really enjoyed it, really happy with the purchase. Obviously, every build is going to come with some of its quirks, and those are the things that we're going to tend to now. So we are going to start off with the seats. It's not the priority, but it's what we really want to do. So we're going to get started with that. Not sure if Andrew is the one that put this seat in, but the guy's got some grip strength. That back bolt, I actually had to use the breaker bar for it. And then obviously it didn't have a good angle, so I couldn't use it anymore. So I went up to a 1/2 inch drag ratcheting. And I about broke my forearm trying to get that thing off. But got it off, got one more bolt to go. Looking good, but the guy's strong. We got the seat out. So FDF, raised shop. Seat brackets. It's not what we have in our car, but we should be able to make it work. So that's driver's side. Now we're going to work on the passenger side. Number 2 is out. Now I gotta figure out the brackets, seating position, and put the two new seats in. Let's go! We got the seats removed. The driver's side carpet doesn't look bad, but the passenger side one looks quite crusty in my opinion. So I think we're actually going to go ahead and start removing the carpet. I wanted to keep it like this for like 2-3 months while I street drove the car and had some fun with it. But it's going to come out either way. We're here, we got time, so we're just going to go ahead and pull it. I know when I did the other Corvette, it came out super easily. It's not like, for example, a 350Z, you got a bunch of the sound deadening that you got to remove, and you have a ton of cuts you have to make because it goes over the trans tunnel and stuff like that. The Corvette, it's 3 pieces of carpet. You got driver's side, passenger side, and trunk. So it's going to be super easy to remove, so we're going to do it. That's crusty. Glad we removed it. Might as well. There's one thing to note about me, and I think everybody in the car community, doing seats and harnesses sucks. But we don't have a choice, so let's do it. actually gonna grab the harness from the passenger seat. Bridgemoto is the harness I planned on running either way. The driver's side, I wanted a 2-inch, 3-inch. They don't have them in stock. This seat has a 2-inch, 3-inch. Can't see the seat, but so I'm actually gonna steal this 2-inch, 3-inch. Put this 3-inch, 3-inch on the passenger side for now. And when they come back in stock in like February, I guess I can determine if I want to go through all this work again to swap to a 3-inch, 3-inch black Bridgemoto so the brands match. But we're gonna go ahead and take these these harnesses off for this seat. Shit! I just remembered that means I have to do the harnesses on the harness bar that's on the cage. Put in a clip right there like me contemplating life. Seats suck. Alright, let's do it. This is a bit of a side note while we're sitting here. I'm so glad I got these floors done. I could never walk around or sit on my floor like this before. Always had to have a table or something excessive for me to be able to sit down because it was like a very porous concrete, almost like an outside floor, and it would get super dusty. And within minutes of sitting down, I would just be disgusting. And I'm probably disgusting now, but I don't feel disgusting, and that's what matters. Guys, so we got a big old nut in the way. The seat won't go all the way back. I'm really hoping that these seat brackets will work. Grindle for sure got them modified for his seats a little bit. I'm not sure if he drilled out a hole at the bottom of the seat, but he did a bunch. Like he had different things going on. So we're gonna see if we can make it work, and we'll go from there. Hate seats, hate seats, hate seats. We're gonna test this, but I'm thinking we're gonna be in the same predicament that Andrew was in. These are just not, these brackets are just not gonna lead us back enough to be in a comfortable sitting position. We're gonna test it out, but I think we're gonna have to reuse these fabulous OEM spec brackets that he made. Well, that just ain't gonna fit. What in the world? I mean, we're just so far forward. That nut's still giving us a hard time. Probably have to go to the store and buy a new one. So I'll lean it back. I'm thinking that might be why he had it lean back, but let's see. Where's your steering wheel when you need it? I just want to say these seats are kicking my ass. That seat took me like 2 hours to put in. Just got the bracket put on to the passenger side seat. Now I gotta swap out all the harnesses and everything. None of the holes line up with this. I don't know if it's, obviously the seat changed, so the position of everything changes, but I don't know if it's the FDF brackets that aren't universal enough or if it's the seat brackets that mount to the FDF that isn't universal enough. But the bolts getting in the way, holes not lining up. So we have it mounted pretty upright right now, more upright than I would like, but I kind of just want to get it mounted. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get another bracket, see whatever for another event. It works good for now, so we'll just stick with it. Ta-da! That's a wrap. All right, we got both harnesses in. Both seats are bolted down and mounted. The height actually looks pretty good. They're pretty evened up. So super stoked about that without having to like adjust the brackets or anything. 2 old seats, clutter, clutter, clutter. Next, we got the harness for the new O2 sensors. So we're gonna get that plugged in. I pulled out the old O2 sensor, and on the passenger side, it actually is super close, and I might have to drop the header, which I'm really not looking forward to, but we'll start by kind of running these and see what we can come up with and figure this out later. I gotta figure out a way to really mount these as high as I can so that they don't burn up on me again like they did last time. So let's get to it. Gotta figure out how to mount these really high so they don't get burnt up again. I'm kind of bummed. I wish there was a way to get some with like double the length of cable so I could really tuck this up somewhere higher. If anybody knows, let me know. I'll buy them. But for now, we're gonna install these. All right, so we have to feed the O2 sensor down the black rabbit hole that you see right there. I'm not sure how to do that. Pulling it out was pretty tight, and I actually cut the connector off prior to pulling it out. So I think it's very tight. What we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to just electrical tape this onto a coat hanger and kind of just force feed it down. So we're gonna tidy up these connectors here first, just because they're exposed, the wires are, and we wanna just try to mitigate it from the heat a little bit. All right, got it electrical taped up a little bit. We're gonna grab our coat hanger, put this, I am on razor thin amounts of electrical tape, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to do both connectors today. I have to go run to the store, but it's getting late, so try one. All right, let's see what we can come up with today. Let's see what we can come up with today. I think I see where we want to go. We're gonna go right between the bell housing. I kind of remember the route that it was going originally, so we try to follow that. Ignore the leaky oil pan. That's something else we gotta address. So the O2 sensor was actually zip tied onto here before. The bung is right there, and it's supposed to be fed right through this channel here. But I can't see the top of the engine from here, so I'm trying to figure out which way we can run this. So we're actually gonna try to come right here. Here's the oil filter. I'm gonna try to run it up right here because I can see, like, obviously that's the hood. So I can see through, and then we'll just hand feed it kind of through where the header is going and see if we can do that. That might be our best bet, and hopefully the cable's long enough. All right, moment of truth. Can we see it? And bada bing, bada boom. Look at this. It's right there. All right, let's get that connected in. All right, so we got it running down. It's right here by the exhaust. Can actually just fish it right on through. So right here, last time, you can hear right here is where, I'm actually picking some of it off, is where it burnt up. I'm trying to zip tie it up to here, but I feel like that's still insanely close to the exhaust, and it burnt up like that last time. Maybe I can do it closer to the torque tube, and with the excess wire, get it zip tied up above and have the cables running under here, but I'm worried that they'll get cut up, so I gotta think about that here. All right, we got it zip tied up back where it used to be. Hopefully this time it doesn't fall down or whatever. Got the cables routed, and then it's going all the way up, not touching the exhaust manifold. I have like 3 fingers. Should be good. Not to do the other side. So right here, it actually touches. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bend this back. I might need to actually drop this header. Yes, I'm under the car and the angles are trash, but we're getting it done. All right, we got both of the O2 sensors mounted up, tucked away. Still gotta do a couple zip tie jobs. The cable's a little loose. I want to zip tie it up there, but I ran out of zip ties, or big ones at least, to kind of tuck it up in and out of there. It has been nighttime now, so we've been working on this thing all day. I want to check where that oil leak is coming from, and then we gotta check all the suspension and all the nuts and bolts on the back of the car. But she should be good to go. We gotta re-zip tie the back bumper. We'll get her dropped down, and we'll go take her for a little test drive on the street just for fun. But made some really good progress today. Hoping to get her done tomorrow. That way we can put her back down on her wheels, put it in the corner, put the car cover over it, and kind of let it rest until January 11th, I believe, is our next event. So we got like a couple weeks, but if we get it all situated and tucked away, done deal, maybe do an oil change, because I think Andrew did one right before he sold it to us, but you know, never be safer than to just do an oil change and just literally keep her in the corner until we're ready to drift it. So that'd be awesome to be prepared like that. So we'll pick this up tomorrow and we'll get her all finished up then. We're under the car. Fun times down here. As you can see, there's a bunch of excess oil under here. I'm not too sure if it's coming from the oil drain bolt, because I can see some excess right there, or if it's coming from the dipstick that looks to be leaking a little bit. So we're gonna get this cleaned up with some brake clean and see about doing an oil change. And next time we run the car, we'll jack it up after every run and see if we can kind of get a better pinpoint of where the oil's coming from. Because right now, the whole underbelly is coated in oil, so can't really tell much. Oh, I love this. Look at that. This was clean when I got it from Andrew. I don't know if he cleaned it or if I created oil leak. Just barely new. Let's go check out the O-ring on the dipstick. So we're just noticing now also the rack is leaking a little bit. There was some stain right there from tonight. Luckily, we just have to remove the tie rods, but we have a spare stock rack, which is good condition. We're gonna remove the tie rods, and we actually got the Black Friday deal that Sparky Built was doing for Black Friday, and we just never sent a rack. So we're gonna send this rack when we get the tie rods removed, probably on Monday, get it rebuilt, get it back in like 2-3 weeks. Hopefully this one will last us 2-3 weeks. And when it takes a crap, we'll have a backup rack in the trailer ready to be swapped out. That's a wrap. The car is all done and dusted, perfect. We did not get a check engine light on that little test drive, so we're thinking that the O2 sensor is officially fixed. I'm hoping that it won't fall down and burn itself again, but that's gonna be an issue for another day. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you aren't already, turn on the post notifications, and we'll see you guys next week.